White boy shit, got it rattling the trunk, boom, boom. Got it blaring out the windows of the whip, vroom, vroom. This that white boy shit, this that 911, boom, boom.
Welcome back to What the Hell Happened. I'm Mike.
And I'm Kevin. And I know we said we were going to record once a week. We've been super busy. Sorry. But we're here now. And we're going to tell a little story about our friend's crackhead dad that he never knew before. He didn't know he existed anyway. One arrest and one accident that almost killed us and a couple of our friends. My buddy Josh's dad, he used to own his own shop over on the west side of Manchester. I used to hang out there all the time. And he had this crackhead that used to hang out there. Him and his brother, there was two crackheads. One of them my dad noticed, his last name was Karen. I happen to have a buddy with the same last name that had never met his dad. And I noticed working on a car one day with him, he had the initials AC tattooed on him. So I forget exactly how it happened, but I ended up asking him or Adam I either asked him what his kid's name was or I asked my buddy Adam what his dad's name was. One or the other, I don't really remember. But either way, I ended up introducing him to his father. First time he's ever met his father. His entire life, he was like 18 years old. And what do you know?
He was a test tube baby the whole time.
Yeah, and what do you know? This guy lived in this ghetto, rundown apartment building that we all happened to hang out around all the time because one of our friends lived there. And there was an empty apartment there, and he lied to us and told us that he was the manager of the property and that he could rent us the apartment for like $300 or something like that. And we ended up scrounging together the money to move in there. There was like 6 of us that said we were going to move in there. It was a lot of us. And we scrounged up the money. We moved in there. We were partying there all the time, having a blast. Turns out this guy did not have any rights to have us move into this apartment. He just found out that it was empty and it was unlocked. So we moved in there and we were partying and doing all kinds of crazy shit. And then one night I get woken up to police everywhere because this guy decided to...
This is my part now. So basically what happened is, throughout the night, we're sitting outside, smoking cigarettes, having a good time, drinking beers, whatnot. And one of the girls that were there, she was 18 or 19, she could have bought her own cigarettes, asked me to go to the store for her to buy her cigarettes. And like a dumbass, I was like, yeah, whatever. It's just right around the block. This one guy we just met outside decided to go with me. As we're walking down, it's like, mind you, almost 4 o'clock in the morning. I start walking to the store, and I see this car parked at a red light the whole block we were walking down. And I was like, yo, fuck that. I would just blow that red light. And I was like, you know what? Yo, you should prank him and have him blow the red light. Say something like fucking scare him, whatever, like punk him. And the kid was just like, no, I'm not going to do that, because obviously he was smarter than me. So I was like, I'll do it. And so for some reason, unarmed, no knife, no gun, no nothing, thought it'd be a good idea to stick my head in his car and basically tell him I was going to shoot him in the face for his car. And then the guy blows the red light. I laugh, thinking, mission accomplished. I'm 19, I'm a punk, so I didn't care. And sure enough, walked to the store. And on the way out, I look across the street, and I'm like, that looks like that car.
Mind you, this is a Jaguar.
Yeah, it was a Jaguar, a nice Jaguar. So we go back to the house. We're sitting outside, hanging out, whatnot. And then 4 cruisers surround us. I'm like, oh, this is not good. I'm like, we got busted partying outside or something stupid. But nope, they're like, start questioning me. And they're like, did you talk to anybody in the car? And I was like, no. And they asked this other kid, did anybody talk to anybody in the car? He's like, somebody did, but it wasn't me. So obviously he dry snitched me out right there. But being a punk, cops were talking to me, and I'm like, listen, dude, I'm like, if you're going to arrest me, just fucking do it. And sure enough, like, get against the wall, put your hands behind your back, and I was like, oh, shit. That's not how I thought that was going to play out. But ended up getting arrested, going to jail, and did a quick 6 months there. And then when I get out, I find out they don't live there anymore.
Mind you, the whole time he's in jail, we had gotten kicked out of that apartment almost immediately because we weren't supposed to be there. But I was working in the mall at a company that I won't mention, even though the statute of limitations is up. I had figured out this scheme that if I cash somebody out and I just hit cancel transaction at the end, I'm really good at math. I could just do the math in my head. The second anybody handed me cash, I would just cancel transaction, do the math in my head, and then at the end of the night, when I counted out my drawer, whenever it was over, I just pocketed. So I was like 16 years old. I had bought a car to live in, so I was living in that car. But I was rolling around with $3,000 to $6,000 in cash in the glove box at all times, because I was only making minimum wage, but I was making $400 or $500 a night doing that. And it worked out really well. But anyhow, he had gotten out of jail, and at the time, I was just partying all the time. I had all the money in the world for me as a kid that age. It was a lot of freaking money. So I bought like 330 packs or whatever, and we decided to go out to the spot that we used to have fires at. And we're having a big ass fire. There's a bunch of us out there. I think there was like 6 or 7 of us out there total, maybe more. I don't know. But there was 2 cars. I remember that because we decided to race on the way out. But we're having a fire, good old time. It was like this pit that everybody used to piss in, and we warned him. I'm like, yeah, just be careful. Everybody falls in that pit. And then what do you know?
It's not just a pit. It is a trench going right behind the fire pit. And then when you get a bunch of idiots drunk enough, everybody is running and jumping over the fire just to be an idiot. So my dumbass runs, jumps over, start walking backwards, and all of a sudden the ground's gone. I just remember falling, and it's like 4.5 feet deep. I hit the bottom and I have to climb out of this fucking nasty pit. And yeah,
It's a big fucking litter box.
Yeah.
But we were partying for a while. We all got pretty tuned up. And I remember the only reason we left is because we saw headlights coming up the trail. And we assumed, cop. We're a bunch of drunk, stupid kids. We're like, Mike's not going back to jail. Let's go kill him. Like, we're all hyped up saying we're going to go kill a fucking cop.
Mind you, I did not say any of that shit.
There's 0 chance we were actually going to do anything other than trying to run past the guy. But everybody was like, oh, we're going to kill the cop. Fucking idiots. We go hauling ass down this trail. I'm in a V6 Mercury Topaz that I lived in. So all of my worldly belongings are in this car. This other kid's in a Dodge Neon. And we're ripping down a pretty friggin' aggressive trail, beating the crap out of our cars. We pull up. It's just some guy at like 2 a.m. illegally dumping trash. So we just basically drive by and wave at him. But we hit the street. And
No. We drive by, saw him, offered him a beer, and then when he was like, no, and trying to leave, we were like, someone in the back was like, fucking kill him anyways. And I was like, what? And then but we ended up leaving, driving down Old Brown Ave, speeding like a motherfucker. Not speeding that bad, but
Ben said, this thing, I hit
for a piece of shit, this thing has some balls.
Yeah, in my head, I'm like, oh, I'll show you some balls. So now I'm doing 70, 80 miles per hour down a 30 mile per hour windy back road. And the other kid had taken the main road. And my plan was, I'm going to take this back road and beat him and come out in front of him. Yeah.
Someone yells, remember the left turn. And sure enough, 2 seconds later, there's trees in front of us. And the only thing I do is brace myself. I'm like, shit. And then all of a sudden, it was a disco party going through the woods is what a witness described when she heard the noise.
Yeah, so there was a tree that was like, it was leaning a little bit. And we used this fucking tree as a ramp. And it was like chitty chitty bang bang. Like we went off this edge. I don't know how high we went, but the witness said it was literally the car tumbling on top of the treetops. And then we fell. And luckily, we landed on the wheels. Only problem is on the way down, a tree went through the floor, through the back seat, and ripped our buddy Ben's ear off. It was holding on by like, I don't know what, half an inch of flesh.
That was gross.
It was not much. And because at the time I sat like a little hood rat with my seat leaned all the way back, my headrest had, we didn't know it at the time until the next day, but my headrest punctured his spleen. It was because he was sitting behind me.
So all I remember is when the car landed, my first thought was, we need to get the fuck out of here. All the doors were pinched shut, the roof was caved in, the front was smashed, and the thing was hit from every single angle. And then the only way out is through the windows.
I remember screaming, I don't have a door handle! Does anybody have a door handle? Does anybody have a fucking door handle? I remember panicking because I went to go reach for my door handle and there was nothing there. I was like, fuck! I ended up getting up on the back of my seat because, again, it was leaned way back. And I'm booting this window. And instead of the window breaking, it like snapped off the track, slides down, then breaks. I'm like, okay. But my window was the one facing down the hill as we were sitting on an embankment.
No, we were both facing down. The whole front end was down towards the river.
All I remember is when I jumped out the window, I was like, I felt like I was flying for a second. I was also hammered, but I felt like I was flying for a second. Then I saw a boulder in front of my face, so I threw my arms up, punched myself in the face, busted my eye open.
Yeah, I remember trying to climb out of a window. Like a dumbass, I put my feet out first and tried to like squeeze between it, realizing too fat for that one. That's not going to work. So then instead of just turning around and climbing out, I climbed towards the back, which then I have to climb over this tree branch going through the car. Get to the window, and I see my buddy standing there, and I'm like, yo, hold my hoodie. Mind you, this is still like towards the end of winter, maybe early spring. It's freezing out. I'm in shorts, a t-shirt, and a hoodie because I'm like, well, we're by a fire. I'll be warm. No. I give him my hoodie, say, hold this. Kid grabs it, sticks it to his head because his ear's gushing blood, and the first thing I think is, fuck, damn, that was my hoodie, dude. But I jump out head first, scratch my arm on a bunch of branches, slide down the hill, get up, and then we all get up to the top of the hill. 50 Cent is still playing. I'm Supposed to Die Tonight is playing in the background,
Loud
which
as
is
fuck.
insane. Also, when you do a head count, there's 3 of us. There was 4 in the car. We don't know where our buddy Zach is. So we're thinking he's under the car. So we're looking, the car's slammed onto the ground. You can't see anything under there. We're just yelling for Zach, trying to figure out where the hell he is. And then all of a sudden, turns out he's like a block down the road, starts yelling back. So we're like, how the hell did he get over there? Did he get thrown out of the car or something? So we start running. And I remember everybody's ahead of me. Ben's behind me. I'm like, Ben, let's go. Come on, run faster. And he's like, I can't. I'm like, why? Why can't you? He's like, I don't have any shoes. I'm like, why don't you have any fucking shoes? I'm like, would you kick them off in a fit of joy? What the hell, dude?
Yeah, I was instantly on the phone with the kid, one of the kids that was in the other car that I was trying to race. So I had them coming back. So like we took off a little bit because I was drunk, a little bit because we needed to get this kid to the hospital because his ear was ripped off. So I had called this other car. They came flying back. They had 2 open seats. So they took the 2 people that were injured because Zach's shoulder was messed up. He had pulled his shoulder out of his socket. Turns out he had a couple fractured ribs too. But we didn't know that at the time either. But we knew they were injured. We weren't. We put them in the car, brought them to the hospital. They were already at the hospital way before the ambulance ever showed up. And me and him are hiding in the friggin' woods waiting.
Cop car, ambulance, fire. Like, they, apparently when they got there, the report said they did not expect to find any survivors. Little or they didn't find anybody.
Oh, do you think about it? They were probably searching the woods thinking we got thrown.
Yeah, 100%.
Oh.
But so, after they dropped him off, they basically came back, picked us up, brought us to my house because, one, I'm fresh out. I'm not going to a fucking hospital. And I felt fine.
I remember waking up in the morning to a text, or actually I think back then it wasn't text, it was a call, finding out that Ben had to have his spleen removed. And
Lost a liter of blood or something.
yeah, and I'm friggin' panicking thinking I just killed one of my friends. Fucking crazy shit. Well, a couple months later, I think it was a couple weeks later, we went to the impound lot for whatever reason. I think we were trying to get something out of the car. We ended up basically bribing the guy to let us in and check out the car. There was a CD that was somehow stuck in the back window. I don't know how it went into the window, but it was stuck in the glass. There was shit everywhere because back then we had those old CD books and there were CDs all over the fucking place. Ben's sneakers stuffed underneath my seat. I don't understand, and blood friggin' everywhere.
The beauty part though is that hoodie that Ben took to stop his bleeding was not my hoodie. It was my buddy Spencer's. Thank you, Spencer, for that one. Sorry your hoodie got ruined. I do remember at one point when we were running down the street, he was like, dude, my ear's gone. I'm like, no, it's not, dude. You're fine. And I was like, let me see it. And he shows me his ear and I can see the cut going down. So I grab it, lift it off his head, let go. And I'm like, nah, dude, you're good. You're fine.
You said it's not that bad. It's fine.
That's not that bad, dude. You're good. Let's go. That shit was bad. It was bad. It was gross. But I didn't want to freak him out because I'm a good friend.
Yeah, so, and then a couple weeks later afterwards, I find out that Ben's insurance company wasn't going to cover anything unless he told them who was driving. And also, I didn't even have a driver's license at the time, so that car was registered to my buddy Petey. And I had called him and told him first thing in the morning to report that car stolen, and he didn't. He waited till the cops showed up, and then he told them that it was my car. And so Ben didn't even have to say anything, but I don't blame him at all. I did at the time. I bullied the shit out of him for a while for being a rat, but I don't blame him now as an adult. We're cool. He had to get his insurance money. It is what it is. But yeah, so I ended up getting a felony for that, conduct after an accident, which I still think is kind of bullshit. Because the only reason you get conduct after an accident is leaving the scene of a crime where somebody was injured if it was for a felony. I didn't leave the scene of a crime where somebody was injured. I took the injured party with me. I got them to the hospital faster than the ambulance ever could have. So I don't...
He was a hero.
I don't think I should have got those charges. Some charges, but not those charges. I probably would have fought it, but I ended up catching a bunch more felonies while I was out on bail for that. So we just sort of wrapped it all up and ran everything concurrent, so it didn't end up hurting anyway.
It's funny how everybody got snitched out on that one, except for me, though. They're like, there was a 4th person. Who was it? I don't know. Some guy we just met.
Yeah, they were asking forever, too.
Yep. Nobody knew it was me.
They were asking...
And now you all do.
Yeah. Statute of limitations.
Yeah, good luck.
I
Allegedly, I did it.
had to talk to an attorney before we started making this podcast because I don't have any record anymore. I had all of my record expunged, so I don't want to add to it by snitching on myself with old stories. Be pretty friggin' stupid. But yeah, whatever, man.
So again, we're gonna try to get back to doing this once a week. We still have a crap load more stories for you guys. So, and at some point, we do want to get guests on here and start doing some other things just to keep it interesting. But yeah, if you have any questions or comments, definitely let us know. Drop a like.
Yeah, I did have an idea on telling a bunch of stupid drinking and driving stories. We should have saved this one for that.
Oof.
And we could have had a lot of our friends on that can also tell their stories as a deterrent to don't fucking do what we did because it was really stupid.
Yeah, I do know a lot of people, when you tell them these stories, like, oh, that's so dumb, you're dumb, all that stuff. But
Yeah, the thought process is not, like, sometimes people think, oh, you guys think this is cool, this is funny. It is funny, but no, we don't think it's cool. We're just trying to tell our stories so that other people can learn from them and not do the same fucking stupid shit that we did.
yeah, so don't get drunk in a pit and think you can kill a cop and then race your friends.
Yeah.
Because that's a common thing, I guess.
Well, like you said, till next week, we will try to do this again. Bear with us. This is our busy season, like I said, and we are balls to the wall right now. And if any electricians are looking for a job, we're hiring. So give me a call. The first 10 seconds of the video, they say if you curse, you get demonetized. We're not monetized anyway. Doesn't really fucking matter, but...
Yeah, why the fuck do we even care? All right, so we're going back on to... So we're just going to start with my arrest, or we're going to do a backstory to the arrest?
I think we start by the story of the apartment and Adam's dad.
Yes, because that's when... Yeah, so it starts with the apartment.
The party that led to you going out fucking cocked and getting arrested.
I wasn't fucking cocked. I was a little fucked up, but I was just more reckless at a young age. And just, you know, the biggest thing was a prankster. So it was all about a fucking prank. It wasn't even that serious, you know. Someone pops their head in your window, throws a sheet in the face for a car, like... Ooh, you gotta freak out about it.
I would have shot you.
Yeah, I would have shot me too. They were like, hey, I'm gonna steal your car. I'm like, not today, ISIS. No, we gotta be like, hey, Kevin.
Yeah. I know we said we are gonna shoot every week, but life happens. We've been busy. This is our busy season, blah, blah, blah. Today we're planning on telling you a little story about one arrest, one car accident, and one crackhead.
Yeah,
Something like that.
all the same person.
And, well, it actually led to my arrest too, with a felony.
Oh, yeah, you got a felony for that one.
Yeah. Saved people's lives. And
How did you not get a fucking DUI?
Because we left. I didn't get caught for 3 weeks. I wasn't drunk still. I mean, that wasn't the whole reason why we left, but it was definitely part of the reason why we left. Because I was not trying to get a DUI. I didn't have a license. My car was registered to fucking Petey.
I don't even know if I had a fucking license back
You
then.
didn't have a license either. The only person in the car that had a license was Ben.
He's not even a real person, though.
He's over to me and I'm just like, blah, 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 blah.
Just keep talking, you come back, and to Kevin. Blah, blah.
Full of Charlie Brown
Yeah,
shit.
try to go.
Editing purposes, I keep turning it off because I gotta be able to find these videos and shit.
Just scan through them.
Zach was gone.
I remember just stopping and going, we need to get the fuck out of here.
Yeah, I
And then
remember-
every door was
I
pinched
remember
shut.
I swore we hit the ground. I was like, all right, we gotta go. But then I looked back and Zach was gone. So we must have been unconscious for him.
We all just came to at the same time. Kind of weird.
Must have been. Because Zach was gone.
Zach doesn't. He says he remembers seeing us, but then blacks out and then wakes up like fucking down the road, like confused.
He said he was banging on people's doors.
Bad idea.
Yeah, take a shot. Especially, I don't even know, it was 2 or 3 in the morning.